Welcome to Unpacking, where we unlearn what's unhealthy. Today, I have my phenomenal Black Magic Union man right here, Pop Darby. I'm going to let him introduce himself a little more and tell him about himself.
Pop Darby. I like to just say I'm a tech entrepreneur that use my consciousness to make a way for myself and others. But everybody else put like activist and community organizer and social influencer, social media influencer, and any kind of other title on it. But I just like the fact that I can create things that other people can benefit from. So that's why I like the entrepreneurship side of it. That's me.
All right, we're here for it. It's one of the reasons why we invited you here, because we felt like you would be able to help what our whole goal is. And for me, I like to sum it up as a mind shift. I think that it's so important for us to break out of those habits of, not letting out the things that we feel are personal, and nobody is ever going through this, nobody would understand. And I feel like if we readjust the way we think or the way we look at things, we focus on things like you mentioned earlier when you had the opportunity to experience white culture, how they go love therapy, you know what I'm saying? So we need to be able to embrace that same thing. And you talk about mind shifting a lot. So fill us in a little bit more about how you feel that can impact us.
Alright, so we call it paradigm shifting. So you have a conscious mind, your subconscious mind. Nothing can actually change your life until you can change your subconscious mind, so it'll change the way your conscious mind operates, because the way you operate is what's successful, not the way you think. So people could think about anything. People have all kind of ideas, but they're not going to act on them because some people don't believe in it. Mm-hmm. So to impact the actual subconscious mind, I should be able to make you believe that my magic is real. I should be able to make you believe that the sky is blue, or whatever we want you to believe in. Before I start rambling, let me make sure I ask the question. What's the question?
The question is, that. But we want it to be geared more towards, unpacking or unlearning those things that we in the Black community have that are holding us down. Mm-hmm. Like, as I mentioned earlier, where you feel like everybody's benefiting off of the Black culture except the Black culture. What is it that you think that we aren't doing?
Okay, so let's go into it, right? Yeah. So, what you're talking about is the post I just put. I say everybody benefiting from my culture except the motherfuckers it belong to, because you have a natural thing that belongs to you, your talent, whether it's basketball, football, how you look, how you dress, how you dance, how you sing. So all of those things are our natural talents. So other people are usually, when you talk about taking something from a people so they won't be able to create anything, if I take a people that have a natural way of life and I create an alternate reality all around them, and I force them to be able to live in it under gun laws, like under the closest form of government we see is law enforcement. And law enforcement put guns in your face, like you must do this or there's consequences or we'll take you away and hide you. So if I have people subjugated to that type of living, then I can do whatever I want. So we are the people that are subjugated to that type of living. And when I say we, sometimes people think I'm only talking about Black people, but I'm really talking about everybody that's on this planet, because the planet has been taken over by people that are running it through armies. And war is what controls the world. So if I'm in that reality, poverty starts at 150,000. Wealth starts at 150,000 a year. Poverty starts at 32,000 a year for like 4 people in your family, 15,000 individually. So if we have an area where a concentrated amount of people are only making that means it was purposely driven. So for people to realize that, when people realize that, I think it opens up their mind to show them that they could do something else. They don't have to be a part of that. But the distractions are so great and grand that to get out of it, it's like you got to try to win a war yourself. So to win a war on the outside world, you got to win the war on the inside. So to change anything, to make a difference, you got to battle against yourself. They call it prana, right, in India. It's like the vital energy that we have, that we utilize to get up, move around, do anything that we need throughout the day. And Some people get up and be moping around. Some people get up and be energetic and they need motivation, and they place things around them so it'll be able to affect them, because signs communicate with your spirit, so your spirit can use your vessel however you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't even think on that type of scale to the point where we saying, all right, let's use something to motivate us to move how we want to do, to use our natural energy. So everybody is just walking around in dead bodies. And they say about it on the frequencies and whatnot. So, but that's a whole nother conversation, the vibration frequencies, so that we couldn't even start on. If people are walking around in dead bodies, then we have to know why. So people are actually doing neuromarketing, targeting from a business perspective to make people. In 1902, they were doing it through the school system. They were actually teaching everybody pretty much how to build something, how to have trades, how to do anything that they needed to take care of themselves. They were creating self-sufficient economies.
Mm-hmm. And
now, when they saw it, it was like, remember 1902 is the point where they start saying, all right, we need to change our educational system to make workers, to make these people docile. This is after slavery. This is the Industrial Revolution. The world has changed. They need to figure out how to take control of a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So the Industrial Revolution allows them to be able to... Slaves fueled the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution fueled America to create it to be what it is, because now they have things that work for them rather than people that work for them. And a machine is a machine. So that money, that capital, allows them to be able to say, all right, this group of people needs to be able to do this. We need to be able to have this many in jail so that we can have them working and pumping this much money into a system that allows us to stay afloat and allows the government to operate. Those people won't give a damn about what happened to them. They just gonna be victims of the system. So that's what we living in right now. We are actually victims of a system that was created to keep themselves fueling off of our blood, sweat, and tears. And it just, I mean,
let me refocus. Knowing that we are victims of a system, what are some of those key, maybe one or two things that you feel we in our Black community latched on to, and we're having the hardest time shaking, that you feel would make a exponential difference if we would focus more on this thing?
Undervaluing ourselves. Because
a word.
Yeah, for real. Because so many people, like, they got epigenetics. The epigenetics is supposed to be your DNA, the things that are passed down through people tracing their DNA. So in slavery, when it was forced for people to say, hey, your son looks smart, he can read, he can drive, he can work hard, he's strong. Now you gotta be like, nah, he ain't smart, he's stupid as fuck, he weak, he can't even pick up nothing. If he go out there in the sun, he probably get, you know what I'm saying? You gotta start talking down on somebody because you don't want other people to use their skill sets for their own gain. And that goes back into what we were saying about how they're using us for their gain. It's the same thing, but people have that in their genes to the point where they think if somebody is doing something out of the norm or trying to show up, or that, this is why we kill each other so much, because if somebody got a bunch of jewelry on and I don't got a bunch of jewelry on, I really feel like he trying to stunt on me. Rather than looking at it as motivation or looking at it like anything else, I'm looking at it like, them people gonna be looking at him and he gonna make it dangerous for us. So we need to get him out of the way. And that was a real, you know what I'm saying, like the coon thing to do during slavery. Like they was killing each other because some people was killing coons because they were detrimental to the whole group of freedom thinkers. And coons was telling on the freedom thinkers, getting them killed because they were detrimental to the safety that they felt like they had. So one thing that we could do as people is start valuing ourselves and realizing that we are business no matter what. So money, just like I said, this might be an alternate reality that money runs, but we have something that we naturally enjoy to do. And people can begin to get paid for things that they naturally talented at. Technology created a way for us to not, we used to damn near need a middleman. If you was a rapper and you didn't have a label, you couldn't get shown to the world because those people had captured all of the media. Now we got social media. Anybody can do anything. If people start to really work on their phone instead of play on their phone, it'll change how we operate, because people spend so much time on the phone. I'm gonna say from my personal experience, I know when I was first starting my business, I had started my shirts, and I was selling shirts, and I was like, all I gotta do is sell really 100 shirts a month, and I was selling them for $20 a piece. So I wanted to make my little couple $1,000 and do what I needed to do, and then all my other money I could do whatever. Afterward, I kind of went crazy. I started making a lot of money, but I knew that I could shape my reality because my bills was paid. So right now, if people bills are what control their life, then they actually can't use what they do, and they got to compromise their talent because it's not working for them. So now they got to act like it don't exist, or they got to feel a way about themselves, like, man, I could sing for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And then now be like, man, fuck this shit. Like, it ain't no point in life. You know what I'm saying? If your talent don't work for you, but if somebody else come at you and say, well, we'll give you some money to sing, but that money that they can give you to sing, they want all of your talents to belong to them, and they gonna give you a check. So what we should do as a people is to come together. Group economics, like I always practice, with unity as well, and put our money together. It's not one person in the world that's so rich that everybody else can't put their money together and have more money than them. So it ain't like, and that's with dollars. So it ain't like somebody can be like, man, we don't got no money, we can't do nothing. Nah, you just don't have enough creativity or a big enough team. All you gotta do is figure out how to put people together, make money work for them, and use technology to create your own outlets. And I mean, that's what I do. That's how I hope everybody should move. And I use my talent of communication to be able to talk to people, to be able to tell them, to decipher whatever information that they're getting, to make it work for them. Everybody do different things. You do credit and thinking and building and business and marketing and interviews and conversation and listening and everything else. So everybody have whatever talent they can make from it. They just got to be creative enough to want to put it in play.
Absolutely. So speaking of what you do with Unity is Wealth, I feel I am a member because I completely believe in the movement. I do feel like I need to be more involved.
That's something that I really want you to do.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I'll definitely will. I'm working on it. It's like a Zoom call, right? I'm here for it.
Every week I want to have. This is just good conversation for this anyway. Every week, if I have a different person that has a specialty and they can train you every week about how to master yourself in that special market, like, yeah, I'm a credit card, you can pay me this, or you can come to my class. If you listen to me, you might be able to do some shit yourself. Now, you're going to have to keep up with it, you're going to have to keep up with me, but if people hear you tell them what to do, they put a little fire under their ass rather than just sitting up. So, like this Monday, we got a lady named Tiffany. She got a thing called the Velvet Rope Experience. She my mentor.
Love that.
Yeah, she my mentor in one of the programs that I'm in. I always go back to school and learn things. So right now I'm in Capital One, getting down to business class. I just finished a class at U of H called the SURE program. They all about they all about getting your business certified and right for the city so that you can get that bag and get them government contracts to where you got the biggest customer in the world. You ain't got to worry about nothing. And that's what nigga. But she gonna be on there and she gonna be teaching her leadership and building, and that's needed. I'm gonna have a coder come on the week after that that's talking about going into coding and creating your own apps and websites. But I want you to talk about credit on that.
I'm happy to do it.
And I know people to be able to listen because that's your specialty. So even if I say, man, bro, look, I got a security credit card, my score went up 120 points. That sounds good to them, but if somebody say, I do this with 28 people every year. You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
Okay. So tell, with Unity as well, like you said, group economics, you preach everything, you provide the tools, you do everything that, and somebody just needs to tap into it and put it to use. What do you think makes people so apprehensive about making that step? What are things?
It's two things. I take a lot of responsibility about myself, so I feel like we haven't built a clear bridge where people can walk to it. Like, you know, as an entrepreneur now, CEO, whatever you want to call it, when I be saying I want something to get done, like if I tell somebody that I don't personally make websites, right? So or build apps. So if I tell somebody I want an app and I wanted to do this, I mean, in my mind, I want you to be able to bring what I want to life, without me having to say, "Damn, I need to just go learn how to do it myself," because I'm paying people for my time to be saved, and I think we haven't built a clear enough bridge for people to understand it from the outside. A lot of people get inside because they have seen a lot of the Instagram videos. I want somebody to be able to go landing page and say, oh yeah, this makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I have paid like 4 people to make this happen, but we're gonna keep on
we're gonna keep
on going until we get it right.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna keep it inside of the network. We're gonna make sure we pay our own people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that a lot of people, when it comes to money, they've been so fucked over that they just feel like I'd rather do bad alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what make this. They say, would you rather have a piece of a watermelon or a whole grape? I'd rather have a piece of a watermelon because as big as the motherfucker's gonna be more filling. It's got water inside of the grape. I'm gonna eat them out of there. I can't do too much of that. I'm gonna still be hungry. So people just gotta kind of understand that together everyone achieves more. That's the acronym for team. We really need to be operating like that. And I don't know, like my math behind it is because I was doing logistics. I went to school for mechanical engineering at Prairie. I was doing logistics for FedEx, and when I'm looking at neighborhoods, FedEx delivers by the zip code. When you look at it, they tell you how much zip codes are spending to deliver packages, and these are just delivering the packages fees, not how much they paid for it, not how much, none of that, just only the fees. You got neighborhoods in poverty spending $100,000 a month delivering packages from one company in one zip code, not including UPS, not including United States Postal Service, just at FedEx, they spending $100,000 in this neighborhood, and they all poor. What if that $100,000 could go back into the hood? So I started looking around, like, who got a program that put money back into the hood? And so what I got hold of was like microfinance. Microfinance, it was a dude named Muhammad Yanis in Bangladesh who did it in his third world country. So he basically kind of started a small bank to where they were getting like, here you get a lawnmower, here you get some seeds, you start planting, you start cutting grass, you start everybody just become operational. It's a third world country, so they not looking at it like Americans. They looking at it like, if he buy me something, I'm gonna use it. And everybody was using their talent that they had. But in third world countries, it's like, they say, the worse predicament you are, the more you vibrate at a natural state because you're not so distracted by all of the technology that's in the atmosphere. You're not in these big buildings. You sitting outside looking at feeling the earth, wind, and fire. It's 4 seasons. It's 4 rotations. We got to use our arithmetic. So arithmetic is like the breakdown of it is A is the, and the means the power of. Rith is rhythm, and Rith is the cycles of, and matic is the meta the metal that everybody call God. So the power of the cycles of God. So we have to use the power of the cycles of God to work for us. And if you in a third world country, you're gonna do that way more than somebody that's using, something that was developed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do in my neighborhood. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, first off, I'm looking at my neighborhood. Y'all spend $100,000 a month delivering packages. There's no way somebody can't come in. I thought it was gonna be this easy. I thought I was gonna be able to say, hey, look, y'all, this don't even make sense. We all know each other. We all live next door to each other. We all stay in the surrounding areas. We all online. We got 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers. Look, 5,000 people use this. Let's create something that we put money into. And in business, you can't make it a donation. So let's make it a service. So let's give each other a service. Let's give them us papers and create a group chat where we're going to work together and call it an incubator. That's what I wanted. I wanted a digital incubator that could create an online community. Because a community isn't necessarily people that live together. It's people that have the same access to resources and ideas and living areas. So anything is a community. Everybody that live in America, that's the American community.